think that's in. I'm not a fan of this new clip, but I think that's in. What do you guys reckon? Should I just pressurize it now? Okay, so first job of the day, we've come to have a look at a gas leak, but it's a bit of a strange one because I just had a call from the landlord while I was driving up here, and apparently Cadent haven't turned off the gas, so I don't actually know what's going on. There's no job report been left. I asked them what was the reason they came out, and this was apparently happened last week. One of the neighbouring flats reported a smell of gas, so I don't actually know what Cadent have done because there's not been any paperwork. Landlord's been trying to chase them up, find out what's going on. I've come out here, I've obviously got to bill him for my time. If they haven't turned it off or if they haven't left any paperwork, all I can do is do a tetanus test, do my 26.9 checks on the appliances, make sure everything's working okay, and off I go. Issue obviously a gas certificate. But this is a problem with Cadent. I don't actually understand what a lot of the guys do or how they actually work, because this is obviously going to cost the landlord money for no reason. He's going to try and reclaim the cost from them, but I don't understand sometimes how they operate. But first, coffee. Right, let's go to work. Okay, so the story's developed a bit further. Cadent have supposedly turned off the wrong meter. No paperwork left with the tenants, no warning notice issued. They've basically just come down and turned off the wrong meter. So the wrong tenants have been left without gas for about a week. And I don't know what the situation is with the people who should have had their gas turned off, if theirs has been turned off or not. So I'm just going to do a quick tightness test. It is, yeah, look, this is the one. And my U gauge, no, luckily it's still got water in it. So this has been turned off. This is the gas meter for the flat that I'm working on up there. So they've turned off the wrong meter. I don't know which one is number 10, which is the one that they should have turned off. So I'm gonna, well, see if they've capped it first. If not, then I'll uncap it, do my drop test, check the boiler. It's the only gas appliance in the property. If that's all good, issue a gas cert and then go on to the next job. But this is what I mean, like due diligence. Like your Cadent are gas service engineers turning off the wrong meters. You know, how can that be allowed, and leaving tenants or homeowners without gas for over a week with no reason for it? It's ridiculous. So just doing my 26.9 checks now. Gas was all sweet. So they turned off the wrong meter, they capped the wrong meter, left tenants without heating or hot water for all this time, which is an absolute joke. But yeah, it's all looking good so far. So once it's done, leave them with everything running and get on to the next one. Okay, so the next job we've got is a full service on this Worcester CDI. So you guys might remember this from one of my previous videos where I changed the diverter valve, which needed changing anyway, but there was a secondary issue where there was a cold mixer tap that was letting by, and that was still causing issues with the hot water. That's since been resolved. Customers got me back today. They want a full service on this, so I've got all the seals for the main heat exchanger. I've done a video on a full service on the CDI before, so I'll put a link in the description below, but I'm just going to crack on with this. I have also noticed that the PRV is going, so that's going to need attention as well. That's going to need replacing. What else? I think there was a problem with the pressure gauge, because when I drained it down last time, it wasn't going all the way down to 0, or when I was refilling it, it didn't want to fill up properly. So I'm going to have a look at that as well. I've got the 2 types of pressure gauges, because these come with either a plastic cable or a copper tube. So I'll pop it over and have a look inside, see what's going on there. And yeah, let's just crack on with the service. So it finally happened. Karsha has finally run out of charge. That's the first time I've actually had to recharge it since I've had it, which is, I think, is absolutely great. The only downside is you can't use it while it's on charge. So I've got about half of it cleaned, about up to there. So I'm just going to let it charge for a few minutes. In the meantime, I'll do the top of the burner, get all that out, disassemble the fan assembly, check the bearing plate and all that. Do the other bits first. Hopefully that'll be charged up by then. Then I can spray everything down in one go. Okay, so got everything out. Let's have a look inside. Not too bad. Gonna have a better look at the electrodes because I can't see from the angle that you guys are, so I'm gonna pop my head up in a minute. Burner, not too bad. Gonna give that a clean. Got a new burner seal, got a new front seal as well. Bearing plate, let's have a look. That's, do you know what? They're not that expensive. They're about 20 quid or so. For the sake of it, I'm gonna change that and change this seal as well. It's just not worth it. You're carrying out full service and then trying to skip a few pounds on a few parts, which could then cost more in the long run. So new bearing plates going in, new fan seals going in, new burner seal, new front seal. Gonna have a look at the PRV, give that a clean, put it all back together, and then obviously 26-9 checks, the usual, potentially the pressure gauge as well. So the boiler, the combustion side is all back together. That's all fine. Just drained it out. The PRV is definitely going. The pressure gauge is now showing 0. However, before it was still showing at 1 bar, so it's gone down really slowly. I'm going to see if I can just take it out of there, maybe give it a clean, and that should be okay. Condense trap, well, it speaks for itself. Yeah, it's just solid chunks in there. So give that a clean, pop that back together, and then sort out the PRV as well. Okay, so pressure gauge, don't know how clearly you guys will be able to see, but that is blocked up, so change that over. Now the PRV, not too difficult to get to because it is a CDI. I've got enough space to get my hand up there, but what I'm struggling with at the moment, again, which I had on one of the other ones, is loosening this. So I've just soaked the yellow cup in WD-40 at the moment. Leave that for a few minutes and then I should be able to pop that down. Get the clip out from the back, and then hopefully I should be able to pop the old one out, pop the new one in. But yeah, first I just need to try and loosen that yellow clip off. Okay, so I've got that clip loosened. Now, I'm going to try and do this in real time. Let's see how long it actually takes me. So first, I need to loosen or undo the clip. Oh, someone's used a new clip on there, which I'm not happy about. Right. I'm going to need that. Okay. Yeah, not a fan of these new clips. Right, now, in theory, there should be no more water left in there. That's fine. I should be able to. There we go. One PRV out. It looks like there's a bit of water, but that's luckily that's actually going straight into the cup, straight out. Let's see if I can get you guys a view of it up there. Okay, got a little dribble, that's fine. Right, let's try and get the new one in now before things get a little bit too wet. Right. And this is why I took my hoodie off, because I knew it was gonna annoy me. Especially when you got water running down your arms, your hood sort of getting in the way. Alright. Come on. See, being a CDI, I would have normally... Oh, actually... I think that's in. And I've had enough space to actually get my hand around the side to reach around the other side. Right, put my blue rag on. Just want to make sure that's in properly before I put the clip and everything back in. She looks in. Yeah. I'll reuse this. This is a bit I'm trying to do in the dark now because my uni light is not giving me the right angles on the light. Where am I looking? I think so. Is there anywhere I can bring it a bit higher maybe? Right, now. I think that's in. I'm not a fan of this new clip, but I think that's in. What do you guys reckon? Should I just pressurize it now? Yeah, it's not coming out right. Let me... Everything else is shut, so let's give it a go. Okay, so that's got a bar of pressure there, and that hasn't popped out, so that's a good sign. It's a bar and a half behind it. Well, no, there's not. There's a bar behind it. And now that pressure gauge is actually giving more of an accurate reading as well. Touch more. Right, cool. PRV is done. I don't know how long it took. I'll work it out when I watch this back, but yeah. Well, what are we saying? Considering the state of that pressure gauge and when I changed the diverter valve, what are we saying? Not too bad. It's not too bad. I was expecting worse, if I'm being honest. But yeah, that's right. Give that a clean up and then pop that back. So boiler's all done, FGA'd, gas rated, safety devices checked, everything is spot on. I didn't even have to adjust the gas valve, so cleaned the main burner out and the heat exchanger, worked an absolute treat, done a sweep test around the burner, that was all fine, not picking up any readings or anything like that. Fluid integrity was sweet, Magna Clean, you guys saw, wasn't too bad. done the PRV, done the pressure gauge. That's now giving us a very good reading. So before it was, I remember when I did the diverter valve here before, I was filling up and gauge just wasn't going up, and then all of a sudden it just shot up, and then I could hear the PRV running back then, but thought it might seal itself, but it hasn't. It is now, new PRV as well. We are all good. Time for some lunch and next job. Okay, so next job we've got here is a leak coming through the ceiling. So you can see it's all sort of come through there. It's all staining around there.
Yeah.
And going around there, and it's affected the light fitting. It's all going down the side of the wall there. So the people who live above, apparently there's a bathroom directly above this, so they're in at the moment. You can still actually see there's drops of water still falling from there. So I'm going to go upstairs, have a look at, see what's going on with the bathroom, and see if we can try and find this leak and potentially stop it. Okay, so this is the flat upstairs, and this bathroom is directly above where that leak is coming from. So I'm going to take off the bath panel here and see if we can identify where it's coming from. Okay, so I've got the bath panel off. You can see it's pretty much soaked everywhere, and the leak seems to be coming from here, but okay, I don't think it's the waste pipe. I think it's actually one of the cold mains pipe. I can't actually see myself, but I'm trying to get this on camera so I can see where it might be coming from. It definitely looks like one of the pipes. Right, we'll have to see if I can get a better look at that. So on that job, there wasn't really much I could do because the upstairs flat isn't managed by the same letting agency as the one that I went to see, the one below. So all I've done is I've taken a video. There was no way for me to actually stop that leak today, and I haven't got authority to carry out any works in that flat anyway. So I've left the bath panel off. I've advised the tenants to put a little shallow container underneath it to try and catch the water. It's only dripping, it's not pouring out luckily, but it needs to be seen to. So I'm going to send my report off to the letting agency that sent me out there and basically leave it with them to get the upstairs panel to get that job sorted.